In the dark pages of history, hidden a chapter that reveals unimaginable atrocities. The reign of Leopold II of Belgium witnessed a horrific period, in which his colony in the Congo became the stage of a human tragedy. In this highlight, we will dig deeper into the life and decisions of Leopold II that brought untold suffering to millions of people. Prepare to enter a world of cruelty, where ambition and exploitation meet in this controversial reign. But, before starting this discussion, I would like to express my deep concern and condolences to all the victims who suffered, who lost their lives, families and dignity as a result of exploitation and inhumane treatment. Hopefully this discussion can help us understand and learn from this dark history, and encourage efforts to prevent abuse of power and protect human rights in the future. Leopold II was born on April 9, 1835 in Brussels, Belgium. He is the eldest son of King Leopold I and Queen Louise Marie of Belgium. Leopold II grew up in a wealthy and luxurious royal environment. Before becoming king, Leopold II faced several challenges in his life. At first, he was expected to become a military officer, but his military career did not last long. Later, he decided to devote himself to diplomatic duties and took part in various international negotiations. After the death of his father in 1865, Leopold II ascended the throne and became King of Belgium. His coronation as king took place on the 17th of December 1865 in Brussels. As King of Belgium, Leopold II played an important role in the infrastructure development and modernization of his country. He initiated the construction of a network of railroads, ports and other public buildings which made a significant contribution to Belgium's economic growth. However, behind his achievements in development, Leopold II was involved in controversial activities, especially in the brutal exploitation of the Congo. Leopold II had an ambitious vision for Belgium and his own personal interests. He had ambitions to expand Belgium's sphere of influence beyond its borders. He wanted Belgium to have its own colony which would give the country economic advantages and political power. This prompted him to establish a private colony in the Congo, a region now known as the Democratic Republic of the Congo (RDC), a country located in Central Africa. One of Leopold II's goals for establishing a private colony in the Congo was access to Congo's natural wealth, especially rubber and copper ore. He saw great economic potential in the Congo and strove to seize control of its natural resources in order to increase his personal wealth and strengthen Belgium's economic position. Leopold II wanted to gain international influence and prestige for Belgium. By establishing a colony in the Congo, he hoped to expand Belgium's international influence and enhance his reputation as an influential monarch. In addition, Leopold II also claimed that one of his main goals in the Congo was to bring civil civilization and the advancement of the local population. This claim was presented by Leopold II at the Berlin Conference in 1884–1885 in Berlin, Germany. This was a meeting between European and American nations whose aim was to discuss territorial division and colonization arrangements in Africa. During the meeting, Leopold II tried to convince the committee to hand over the Congo to him. He tried to create an image of himself as a philanthropist and reformer who wanted to end slavery, introduce Christianity, and bring economic benefits to the local population. This covert intention became widely known as the civil mission, or white civilization. And finally, in 1885 the territory of the Congo was officially given to Leopold II. After that, Leopold II founded the International Congo Association (AIK) in 1878, which according to him aimed at protecting the people of the Congo and advancing economic and trade interests. However, these claims were proven to be utter nonsense, as his actions and policies resulted in unimaginable suffering and oppression. Very different from what he said, Leopold II actually implemented a system of forced labor, slavery and inhuman violence on the Congo population. Leopold II implemented a system of exploitation that forced the Congolese to work in appalling conditions. Congo residents were ordered to work in rubber plantations and mines with the aim of making a profit for the king and the Belgian state. Congolese forced to work in extremely difficult and inhumane conditions. They are often ordered to work long hours without adequate rest. Those who disobeyed orders or did not meet their work quota were ruthlessly suppressed. To force the Congolese to work, Leopold II and his colonial agents used various forms of physical and psychological oppression. This included beatings, torture, mutilation, and threats of violence against their families. Congolese who refused or were unable to meet production quotas or who tried to escape forced labor were often subjected to beatings by responsible colonial or supervisory agents. These beatings were carried out using whips, chains, sticks, or other objects that caused injuries and pain. Apart from that, psychological torture was also used, such as threats of violence, verbal intimidation, humiliation, or degrading treatment. The most cruel thing is the mutilation of limbs. Mutilation of limbs is an extreme form of physical oppression applied by colonial agents. Leopold II and his colonial agents used the threat of cutting off a hand or foot as a punishment for workers who were deemed to have violated regulations or did not meet production quotas. The mutilation of these limbs aims to spread fear and paralyze the workers so they cannot run away or rebel. In addition to direct physical oppression, colonial agents also used threats of violence against families as a means of control and coercion. Congolese workers are often threatened that if they don't meet production quotas or run away, their families will face violence or expulsion. This threat aims to create fear and despair so that workers continue to work without stopping. Leopold II also implemented a system of slavery in the Congo in a manner similar to the already outlawed transatlantic slave trade. The Congo people were considered property belonging to the king, and they were considered servants of the state. I repeat, the people of the Congo were regarded as the property or private property of Leopold II. So, the Congo territory does not belong to the Belgian government, but belongs to Leopold II. Congo residents were forced to sign employment contracts that gave the colonial guards full control over their lives. They lost personal freedom, land and other rights. In addition, Congo residents are often paid with goods or services of very low value. In addition, natural resources that are exploited endlessly also cause a decline in the local economy and severe environmental damage. The traditional economy of the Congolese people based on local agriculture and trade has ceased and been replaced by unsustainable exploitation. The forced labor system implemented by Leopold II also deprived the Congolese people of the opportunity to develop themselves through education and cultural improvement. Education and development of local culture is neglected or destroyed, so that the Congo people are trapped in a cycle of poverty and underdevelopment. This system of forced labor has had a very negative impact on the health and lives of the Congolese people. Workers experience extreme fatigue due to long working hours and poor working conditions. They suffer from hunger and malnutrition due to insufficient wages. The psychological impact of this system of forced labor is enormous for the people of Congo. They are traumatized by torture, violence and separation from their families and communities. Subsequent generations inherit the suffering and bear the social wounds inflicted by this system. Initially, many of the atrocities committed by Leopold II in the Congo were kept secret and were not widely known to the international community. However, Leopold II used various means to hide his atrocities in the Congo from the world. He and his colonial agents actively spread propaganda and positive narratives about their civilizational mission and civilizational goals in the Congo. They claimed that they brought civilization, civil progress and humanitarian mission to the region. This narrative is meant to justify their exploitation and occupation. Leopold II made sure that the information leaving the Congo was strictly controlled. He monitors and restricts journalists' access, blocking negative reports or criticism of conditions in the Congo. The media were also ordered to censor news that was detrimental to the image and interests of the colony. In addition, Leopold II imposed restrictions and blockades on the access of foreigners and missionaries to Congo territory. This aims to reduce the possibility of reports and testimony about the persecution carried out by his regime. Leopold II and his colonial agents systematically manipulated statistics and reports to drown out reports of oppression and atrocities in the Congo. They distort production and profit figures to better reflect performance and obscure the dire reality of conditions. Leopold II also used political influence and diplomacy to influence other countries not to interfere or investigate his actions in the Congo. He forged relations with European countries and kept his political support undisturbed. But, as the wise saying goes, no matter how smart a person is to store a carcass, it will still smells. Although Leopold II managed to hide some of his atrocities in the first few years, reports and evidence of oppression in the Congo began to emerge and attracted the attention of the international community. Reports and revelations of atrocities committed in the Congo have had a significant influence on international public opinion. Along with the spread of information about the forced labor system and the atrocities that occurred, people in various countries became shocked and angry at the human rights violations committed by the government of Leopold II. Disclosure of atrocities in Congo sparked an emotional and moral reaction from the international public, reinforcing the drive to end repression and atrocities. People began to question the ethics of colonialism, the actions of the Belgian government and the impact of imperialism on the local population in the Congo. Activists and journalists play an important role in telling the truth about the situation in Congo. They conduct field investigations, collect evidence, and courageously report atrocities. This effort aims to educate and mobilize international public opinion to be aware of the crimes that occurred in the Congo. Through writing, reporting and broadcasting information, activists and journalists try to generate empathy, sympathy and support for the victims of the Congo people. They also played a key role in organizing protest campaigns, pushing for international sanctions, and building a solidarity movement to support positive change in Congo. The exposure of the atrocities in Congo and the efforts made by activists and journalists played an important role in influencing international public opinion and causing changes in the response to the situation. Increasing international awareness of and condemnation of atrocities in Congo is driving political, economic and diplomatic pressure on the Belgian government to end the system of forced labor and protect human rights in Congo. Additionally, in response to international pressure and public pressure, several reform measures were taken to reduce atrocities and improve conditions in Congo. For example, legal changes, protection of human rights, and more humane treatment of the Congo population. Exposure of atrocities in the Congo has also helped raise global awareness on issues of colonialism, colonization, and protection of human rights. It inspires a wider humanitarian movement and influences further changes in global views and actions against crimes and human rights violations. The exposure of atrocities in Congo and the efforts of activists and journalists have played a critical role in changing international public opinion and triggering changes regarding the protection of human rights and the global response to the situation in Congo. The dissemination of reports and revelations of atrocities by activists, journalists and humanitarian groups stirred up international public opinion and urged Belgium and other countries to act. In 1904, a formal inquiry was initiated by a committee of the Belgian parliament into conditions in the Congo. This investigative report, known as the Casement Report, named after Roger Casement, an Irish activist and diplomat who conducted investigations in the Congo, exposed gross human rights violations and exploitation perpetrated by Leopold II and his government. This report received international attention and increased pressure to end atrocities in Congo. And finally, in 1908, the Belgian government officially took over the Congo from Leopold II. Leopold II's revocation of control of the Congo came about through the passage of a law by the Belgian parliament, ending Congo's status as the private property of Leopold II and making it a state colony of Belgium. This shift occurred in response to international pressure and demands for reform of the treatment of the Congolese population. So, what happened to Leopold II after his atrocities and brutality against the people of the Congo were exposed? What punishment did he receive? Leopold II was never personally punished for his atrocities in the Congo. Despite ample evidence and reports revealing human rights violations committed under his rule, no direct legal action was taken against him. After his control over the Congo was revoked, Leopold II retained the title of King of the Belgians, until his death on December 17, 1909. He was never punished for his cruelty to the people of the Congo until the end of his life. Leopold II's controversial reign and its impact on the Congo was a dark chapter in the history of colonialism. Leopold II's reign was dominated by the brutal exploitation, cruelty and oppression of the Congo population. The system of forced labor that was implemented resulted in unimaginable suffering for millions of Congolese. The impact is far-reaching. Thousands of people died, either from direct persecution, forced labor, or widespread epidemics resulting from the dire circumstances. In addition, the uncontrolled exploitation of natural resources causes significant environmental damage in the Congo. It is important to learn from this history as a warning about the dangers of abuse of power and human exploitation. The history of Leopold II's reign gives us a clear picture of the dire consequences of cruel and greedy colonialism. It is a reminder that protection of human rights, respect for human dignity and justice must be the cornerstone of any form of government. By studying this history, we are reminded of the importance of maintaining a system that checks power, ensures openness, and encourages responsibility. Lessons from the reign of Leopold II should encourage us to continue fighting against human rights violations, exploitation and human oppression around the world. As a global community, we must work together to ensure that atrocities like those that occurred under Leopold II are not repeated. Using our influence to promote peace, justice and respect for human rights is our duty to prevent future abuses of power and create a more just and sustainable world.